Hi guys, welcome. It's Talking Sundowns. It's brought to you by SoccerBeat, and I've got Kermit, Erasmus, Shakes and Ngwenya, and myself, Peter the Toit. Guys, Mamelodi Sundowns, 1-1 draw, Golden Arrows. First question. Who won the battle between the coaches in the first half tactically? The old coach or the new coach? Straight answer, Kermit first.
I think the old coach, his game plan has played out really well today. You know, I'm thinking going man for man up front and allowing Monyango to have the ball, because he's not the most comfortable goalkeeper when he's given the ball to decide who would be the free player with the accuracy. So I think Coach Manqoba made a good account for himself in this game, challenging Sundowns today, and that washed off, and they managed to score the free kick. So a great set piece. Yes, a bit of a sandwich on Moon, but the first half definitely went to Arrows. Unlucky handball. I think if it wasn't for the handball, I think the score would have stayed 1-0, because Sundowns didn't really create chances today. They struggled to get in the final third, and yeah, if it wasn't for the offside calls, then maybe they would have scored. The goals would have been allowed.
See, Shakes, Kermit doesn't listen to me. I said, give me a yes or no. That was the longest yes or no. I like it, Kermit, but good. I can see the coach saying, Kermit, okay, we're going to play two-touch. Okay, coach, boom, 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 dribble, goal. Okay, fine. You can play as long as you like.
You have to improvise. You have to improvise.
Correct. I like it. The fans out there liked it as well. Shakes, okay, first off, without a doubt, I think Manqoba won the tactical battle. But we don't have to go into too much. Second half, more even, although if I look from a chances point of view, it was pretty much 50-50. Who would you say got the second half? New coach, old coach?
Second half, yes or no? Second half, I'd say it was more even. First half, definitely Manqoba. Second half, I'd say it was more even, you know. And you would have expected, obviously, Sundowns to come firing in the second half. Arrows worked so hard first half, you know, tactically to close those gaps for Sundowns. So obviously they were going to tire second half a bit, but still I didn't see much chances being created by Sundowns in the second half either. So definitely I give Manqoba credit. You know, a lot of people were saying that Manqoba doesn't know his story. Today he showed that he knows his story. He showed that 100%. He's a good coach. He can plan against Sundowns. You know, not many teams can keep Sundowns from creating chances like he did today with his Arrows team. So much credit has to be given to Manqoba.
Correct. And he didn't do it playing a low block, just sitting, hoping, you know, sitting back and long. They went for it, which I think is an encouraging sign for other teams, that if you go for it with Sundowns, most people are scared and they think they're going to get opened up. And you will get opened up if you don't do your homework properly and work your tactics, which he did correctly. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I don't think I would have betted on that result. But on betting, guys out there, if you sign up with Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, you'll get 25 Rand extra. So get yourselves 25 Rand extra with the SoccerBeat code. So if you look at the goal from Golden Arrows, my concern about that goal is set pieces are a big part of what's going to happen when in the Champions League, and a big part of what's going to happen when you're playing in the Club World Cup. That was a dangerous sign for me, that a free kick that can be floated in, it wasn't driven flat out, can be floated in from a height, drop in. It was a 30-yard free kick, ball traveled 30 meters. Outside on the 6-yard line, the smallest defender, the smallest player on the pitch wins a header. Surely the keeper, who's 6'7", 2 meters, whatever, can come out and catch that. That's a dangerous sign for me. I can tell you now, Williams would have caught it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's positioning with the goalkeeper, and obviously the uncertainty of where the ball would land. So with Monyango, obviously the misjudgment of where the ball would land, and him, like you said, standing in a position to go for it, and then eventually backtracking, obviously put him in a position where he wasn't sure where he was in the goal. And it was a beautiful header from Phillips as well. He headed down for Nyango, out of Onyango's reach. So I think it was just a bit of uncertainty in whether he would come or not. But also, I think in marking on the side free kick, you gotta go with your runner. You gotta go with the runner, because in like you said, in the Champions League, you're not gonna get they're gonna punish you on set pieces. There's bigger boys than what the Arrows has, and it's gonna be very challenging. So you gotta work on these set pieces, because this could be the difference between winning and losing, especially in the Champions League and at the Club World Cup.
Correct. Yeah, my question, Shakes, is why not bring in a guy like Pieterse? He's a big boy as well. He's younger, and Younger's had lots of games. If Williams is prone to be injured now, I'm not certain on Younger the way he came. And you tell me that's a regular thing with him coming and going. And you can't have that kind of uncertainty, because I can tell you what, those CAF teams have been watching on video and they're going, okay, let's put it to the far post. He's going to come and not. And you know what, Kurt, you say that they must go with the runner, but when you're going with a runner, you're facing the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's facing everything. He can come and get the ball, so it's much easier for him.
Mm-hmm.
So shouldn't someone like Pieterse be getting Tabalala, the youngster? But I think Pieterse is obviously more experienced. Shouldn't he be brought into the team? Chakes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's he's one of the goalkeepers who hasn't got much of a chance, with the Sundowns keepers, and I think with his heights and I think he can do better, especially with the set pieces. You see, one thing that's worried me all along with Sundowns, the way they defend set pieces is very bad. We saw this in the Champions League with Mvala. We saw it against Magesi in the final with the corner. So that's if there was one place I really have to pick Sundowns' weakness, is defending the set pieces. They're very bad. A lot of ball watching. And yeah, Onyango there, I think he should command that position. It's his box. He should have went out and punched that ball, but he's very indecisive. I don't know whether it's the lack of game time, maybe, or I don't know what it is, but yeah, Sundowns will always give you a chance when it comes to set pieces and defending. They'll always give you a chance. And today, Arrows took that chance. Pity for them, they conceded the penalty. Otherwise, Sundowns couldn't score in open play today. And yeah, credit goes to Manqoba.
Yeah. Another question. I've watched Sundowns almost all their games this season, and one thing in particular you could see it at the start of the season. Mokoena, if he's doesn't start or doesn't play, they're not the same team. I mean, he is absolute quality. And when you came on, you can see the cohesion. What do they do here? Do they, they ran the risk of losing this game, but you can't play him in every single game. Kermit, you played with him. How good is he when you're on the training pitch? How good is Mokoena?
I mean, he's someone who's always hungry to play. Even if he's tired, he's always willing to give his best for the team, and when called upon, he's always raising his hand to give account for himself. But like you said, he can't play every game because it's a long season and everybody's needed. So whenever he's given the chance, you can see the change of intensity he brings when he comes on, and I think he plays like 2 steps in advance. He's ahead of the game, and when he receives, you already know what he's doing with the ball. So, and that's why you see him playing a lot of times. When he's playing forward, it's already one touch coming from one of the fullbacks. So he reads the game really well, and his positioning in the game and moving in attack in a position where he could be free to shoot from range is his strength. And like you said, he's got the ability to have that switch to be ready for the game when he's called upon, and if he's on the bench when he comes on, he tries to make an impact, and I think that's what he's been doing most of the time. And you can see the presence he brings. And I think today also with Reyners not being there, I think Sundowns struggled a lot up front. I think with Peter being the only one making the forward runs was easy to track for Arrows defenders. So with that extra striker that would make the late run, for that second run pass, was a bit of a challenge for Sundowns. So.
Correct. We're gonna take a short break, and I'm gonna come back to that very point after the break. Here's a promo from.
How would you like to win a little something extra just for joining the best in the game? For a limited time, we are teaming up with Betway and giving all of you access to a SoccerBeat exclusive. If you join Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, now in March, you'll get 25 Rand extra bet. That's right. It's time to get way more out of every bet. Standard T's and C's apply.
Our Betway guys. Welcome back, and don't forget to sign up on Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, and you'll get yourselves a 25 Rand extra bet. A couple of problems that worry me about Sundowns. Now, obviously, I want to put this into context. They're the best team in the country, without a doubt. But I'm not worried about the league. The chances of them not winning the league are highly remote. I'm concerned about Champions League because we want them and Pirates to get as close to the final as possible, and obviously the World Club Championships. But what concerns me is, besides the goalkeeper problem and besides, as we spoke about, the free kicks, and the third, and being over-reliant on Mokoena, there's something else that disturbs me, which I've noticed, which has been happening. The emphasis on the ball going to Ribeiro and almost waiting for Ribeiro to make something happen. And it's almost when the ball's on the left-hand side, it's secondary, but the ball gets given to Ribeiro, and you can almost, in the way Ribeiro is playing, he's almost feeling, I've got to do something special. Whereas, you're going to tend to have a lopsided way of playing then, because he's getting the ball. He don't want to waste his energy coming back. It's creating that hole there that Arrows exploited. At the start of the season, the ball seemed to be spread around more evenly. And now, especially when Reyners is not playing, when Reyners is playing, there's a real option. When he's not playing, the kind of option is, let's give it to Ribeiro, even if he's just inside the opposition half. And do you think that's a potential problem? Obviously, you want your best players to get the ball, but I see it becoming a reliant. Shakes, Kermit?
Yeah, I saw it too, Peter. A lot of balls going to him and looking to get him to do something special all the time. I think the over-reliance on him can become a problem, And you make a good point, because when Reyners is not there, Reyners gives so much options when he's there. Off the ball, the runs he makes creates a lot of spaces. So when he's not there, Ribeiro wants the ball mostly to feet. And when he gets it to feet, he needs to do something special, because he's not getting the ball into space where he can finish immediately, So it becomes an issue when Reyners is not on the pitch. The options become less. It puzzles me why he wasn't in the team today. I think it's partly why Sundowns struggled today.
Yeah, I also think they've signed Lebo Mathiba, who, yes, he's still obviously gaining fitness, but he's obviously Kermit, he played in France. He's a very experienced player. I think him being on the bench would bring a completely different dimension, because he can hold the ball up to feet. It can give a variance to always getting it wide. It can bring the midfielder players in more. Adam will be able to get involved more. Alenda will be able to get involved more. And then, bang, you can get the ball wide to Matthews or to Reyners. So I'd like to see Mathiba coming into the mix. The other player that I'd like to discuss is Sales. He's looking a lot more comfortable on the ball and liking to get a lot more involved. But he's still, that wasn't a save. That was a miss.
No,
I know he hit the target. Cuffed the ball.
Yeah, I think he did with the shin. Yeah, he did with the shin, partially with the shin, and that's why it bounced before it went to the keeper. But I think for Sales, yes, he's comfortable on the ball, but he shouldn't be so far out wide, because with his height, he's more dangerous when he's on the end of crosses. But he's the one crossing the ball, So I think it's just about playing in and around the corners of the box and not trying to go too far away from that, so that when the crosses are coming, he's in a position to make it on time and be an option to try and connect on the crosses that's coming in. So, like you said, he's comfortable on the ball, and it's good to see for his height that he's comfortable on the ball, but that's not where his strength is going to be appreciated. It's more in and around the box, because that's what he's signed for, to score goals.
Correct. Now, all three of us were strikers. I was a striker in another world. It was so long ago. But the two of you have played up front. A striker who doesn't want to be in the box is a problem. And he seems much happier getting it wider. As we get older, we drift further away from the box and prefer to pick it up deeper, because, we may lose a bit of sharpness. But he's still young. And why does he not want to be in that box? The one question could be because they like to play with one guy in the box, i.e. Shalalile, and even Reyners plays more wide than he would have done with Stellenbosch. But Reyners makes runs into the box, where he seems to keep wanting to get it deeper, and basically playing in the same place where someone like Matthews would be playing. So I think there seems to be a problem. I don't know why the coach doesn't seem to sort it out. It seems obvious. Why do you think, Shakes?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think the coach seems comfortable with him. Because he comes deep to collect the ball. Comes so deep to collect the ball, whereas he's needed much more up front. He's comfortable on the ball in the box. I think he can cause so much damage if he can play in and around the box. He's a big boy. He's got a touch on him. And yeah, I think he'd cause so much problems playing in the box rather than collecting the ball from outside the box. Yes, he does have the touch, does have that pass as well, but
Yeah.
Sundowns need him more in the box to finish the goals there.
Yeah. I could understand it if the fullbacks were getting really past him, or even the midfielders were going really, and he was in there to allow them to go. But that's not really happening either. The other thing I want to ask you is the coach's reaction after the game. His reaction, I felt that he didn't pay any respect to Manqoba, the previous coach, by acknowledging the performance. He just went off about we will be champions.
The
I can't
decisions.
remember his exact. What did you say?
Yeah, he said something to that effect.
Oh, we'll be
Yeah, he
champions
said something to that.
if this way or the other way. I can't, but basically saying this was
Yeah,
cheating to an extent that we'll win
yeah,
the champions if this happens or if it doesn't happen. It was worse to that effect. I thought it left a bit of a bad taste. He should have acknowledged his predecessor, first of all, and an exceptionally good
sure.
performance by a team that has no budget like his. And his predecessor did build this team.
100%. I mean, it's the foundation that his predecessor left for him, and it's just for him to take off where he left, and I think Coach Manqoba, like Shakes has said numerous times, that the coach had his game plan spot on today, and just unlucky that the penalty was conceded. But having to have a game plan like this with his students, Musa Bilankulu and KG, Kagiso Digashwe, players he coached in the past, having to sit next to them as his assistant, and having a good challenge today. And I'm sure even in his post-match interview, he said how proud he was of the players and how they executed the game plan. It was a good advertisement for football, South African football, and I'm hoping that the other teams pay attention to what's been done, and they can challenge when they get that opportunity against Sundowns.
Correct. Shakes, just going back to the coach. I mean, I think that if he's losing his cool that easily, I'll be a little concerned when they start losing 2-3 games, if they ever lost 2-3 games on the trot, or get knocked out of the cup, or get knocked out of CAF. But, you've got to look at your own team first. And this wasn't a case of a referee costing them the game or costing them 3 points. This is a case of Arrows doing a damn good job, goalkeeper not coming for the ball, and Shalalila and a couple of misses, Sales and so on and so forth. That's where the problem area is, not a referee, as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, a few dubious decisions and a couple of offside stuff, but that happens in football. How would you react as a player seeing, him go off the handle when you, in your own hearts, know you could have played better as a team? How do you think the players are feeling about it, or do you think they don't even know?
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing to see, I mean, dubious decisions have happened in the past against Sundowns, but they were able to score goals, and he didn't talk about the dubious decisions in his interview, So he must give credit where it's due. Arrows did well to stop the Sundowns from winning today, from creating chances, I think as much as he's a bit disappointed with the dubious decisions, he must still give much more credit, to the opposition who had a game plan against him and it worked. I think Arrows did very well to exploit a lot of Sundowns' weakness. They knew Tapelo defensively not so solid, and they came down that wing, that left wing, and that's where they got a lot of joy. And they exploited also the speed that Sundowns don't have at the back. You could see that Arrows knew what they were doing, and they could have also got a second goal. They did well. So it's disappointing for the coach not to acknowledge his predecessor, who left a lot for him. To be honest, there's a lot that was left by the predecessor, Manqoba at Sundowns, and I think he should be given credit.
Correct. Let's turn to the weekend, Nedbank Cup. Should there be any concerns, or will it be business as usual on Saturday against Sekhukhune, right?
Business as usual. I think they are definitely going with a strong team. I hope my front three will be back, the RRS, so looking forward to it. But, other than that, I don't think there'll be any changes. There'll be business as usual.
I think so. What do your tip of your prediction on the score? If you're taking your 25 Rand free bet.
Me, I'm saying 3-1.
3-1. Shakes?
Nicely.
Yeah, Peter, I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about the energy levels of these players. Can they bring the same?
Shakes.
Can they bring the
Confidence
same?
shakes.
Because I
Confidence
know
shakes.
Sekhukhune is going to bring the energy, and they're going to come at Sundowns. They're going to give their all. So can Sundowns bring the energy? I think the energy levels playing 3 games, playing a game after every 3 days can take its toll. And I thought actually today, the lineup was going to be different, looking at the points difference and the gap and looking at the game on the weekend, I thought they'd want to have a fresh team to play in that Nedbank Cup. But yeah, I still feel that Sundowns have got enough, have got what it takes to go through and win that game. I think they'll win by 2 goals to 1.
Shakes.
It's amazing.
There's cryotherapy shakes. There's oxygen chamber stakes for recovery. They'll be ready, shakes. Don't worry, shakes. They'll be ready.
I didn't see the same energy today.
We'll get together for the next game as well. But isn't football incredible? Last week, we're all praising Cardoso. He's the top coach. He's done it correctly. And the team's flying. One game. It's a harsh game, football. But I expected a better reaction from Cardoso at the end of this game. Look forward to seeing you guys on the weekend in the Nedbank Cup. Kermit, you're a star. Thanks very much. Shakes, as usual.
Thank you.
Guys, don't forget. We're very grateful to our sponsors, Betway. If you sign up on Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, you'll get a 25 Rand extra bet. And guys, please, don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. The more you subscribe, the more Shakes and Kermit like it. They cry to me every day, where are my subscribers? The likes and subscribe and share, guys. See you on the weekend. Enjoy. Cheers, guys.
SoccerBeat, what?